The new mask law is ruffling some law enforcement feathers.
So the question is, why is this a law enforcement issue locally? I don't think it is.
Which departments are enforcing it and which aren't, and why just about everybody is not going to write tickets.
It's back after 25 years. Tonight, Ford debuting the all-new Bronco.
We're going to begin, though, with a one-year-old girl found safe tonight after being abducted from her family at gunpoint. Off the top tonight at 11, that girl's father is now in police custody after that abduction led to an Amber Alert.
That Amber Alert has been canceled after Julia Ford was found shortly before 8. Victor Williams is live in Southfield right now. And Victor, this was all connected to shots being fired earlier this afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely. So when this Amber Alert first went out, it sent a few people into a panic. But the good news, just like you guys said, is that one-year-old is now safe and sound, and her father has found himself, I should say, in some hot water, and he is now in custody of the police. Around 2 p.m., bullets started to fly near a parking lot on West Nile Road in an apparent shooting stemming from an argument between two parents. One-year-old Julia Ford was allegedly taken by her father at gunpoint, sparking an Amber Alert for the child. As people started to search for the young girl, people who parked in that lot slowly started to realize their vehicles had been damaged.
A bullet was found in my tire. My tire was shot.
This woman, who did not want to go on camera, had to have her tire replaced after it was punctured by one of the shots that were fired. She says it could have been worse.
I'm glad my car wasn't damaged like the other car over here.
Another vehicle had multiple bullet holes, but the owner of that vehicle was nowhere to be found. As for the little girl, Julia was returned to police unharmed while her father turned himself in.
It's pretty upsetting, but I just honestly hope that whatever is going on, like the baby is found, the family is okay, and that justice is served for whatever happened to the child.
And at this point, Julia is in custody of Child Protective Services. They're trying to figure out where to place the child at this point. As far as her mother, we haven't heard too much about her. Reporting live tonight in Southfield, Victor Williams, Local 4.
Thank goodness that little girl's okay. Thank you, Victor.
Tonight, the Washtenaw County Health Department says a spike in coronavirus cases there is connected to a large house party over the 4th of July weekend.
43 cases have been linked to that house party in Saline. Anyone who was at the party is asked to self-quarantine. We're told most of those who tested positive are between 15 and 25 years old. Today, the state reported 384 new cases with 7 additional deaths. Making headlines across the country, California's 2 largest school districts announced they will not be bringing students back to the classroom next month as the state continues to see a rise in coronavirus cases. Instead, the 720,000 students in the Los Angeles and San Diego school districts will start school online.
Now, here at home, it was the first day, of course, of the governor's new mandate on masks, making it a misdemeanor to refuse to wear one in enclosed public spaces. Violators can face a $500 fine. Let's bring in Jason Colthorpe live tonight, who's been looking into the enforcement of this mandate. At least one sheriff is admitting to you this is going to be very complicated, Jason.
It's definitely complicated here in Macomb County, Devin, because the sheriff wants people to wear masks, and he's encouraging businesses to require them. And if there's a problem and a call comes in, his deputies will respond and they will encourage compliance. But they're not going to write any tickets.
We haven't written a citation, and I don't think we will.
Macomb County Sheriff Anthony Wickersham isn't taking a political stand against the governor.
We just do not have the resources for every time an individual walks into a business and doesn't have a mask.
That's not to say they won't respond and enforce the new mask law. They will, because Wickersham is concerned about protecting employees from possible violent confrontations.
We wanted our business people to know, look, because there's chances that there's licensing sanctions and regulations that could come down from the state through other means, but it's not going to be coming from the sheriff's office. Sheriff's office is going to be there to assist you, to make sure that your business can stay open and that you and your staff that are working are going to be safe.
Macomb County Executive Mark Hackle's problem is with the governor, or at least with her use of the governor's emergency powers. He feels this law is a knee-jerk reaction to recent events and undemocratic.
When most people are complying, and I would agree, you should be wearing a mask, and they do. But to all of a sudden now come out with a law that didn't involve law enforcement, didn't involve our legislature, didn't involve the democratic process, and say, I'm going to make it a misdemeanor violation, that puts a lot of people in a very concerning position saying, wait a minute, how can one person just do that? And now we're the ones that have to go ahead and enforce that. I mean, that's a concern.
Yeah, and just to point out one more time, the sheriff and Mark Hackel are both for the mask law, for everyone wearing masks, I should say. And Hackel also pointed out the governor hired 200 staffers when it came to enforcement, and she also has the state police at her disposal, theoretically. So those are two more reasons he feels this shouldn't fall back on law enforcement at the local level. Devin?
I guess some will say that it's one thing to not be able to write tickets. It's another to tell people that you're not going to be doing that. But Jason, I'm wondering what you're hearing from other departments from around the area.
Right, it kind of goes back if they're the speed limit. If you tell them, they'll speed.
Right,
Let
right.
me start with Oakland County real quick. They're going to do it the way they've done it from day one, going to encourage compliance. They'll come out when they're called, but and any violators will get forwarded to the health department. In Washtenaw County, same kind of thing. They don't want to write citations. In Livingston County, same that he's been doing there. No citations, no enforcement. That's because the sheriff there doesn't agree with what the governor's doing. Didn't hear back from Wayne County or MSP tonight. Devin?
All right, Jason.
A standoff involving a barricaded man in Sterling Heights lasts hours before ending peacefully. Officers were called to a temp agency on Mound Road between 16 and 17 Mile Roads around noon. They called police after a man walked in acting strangely and not saying anything. The building was evacuated, but the man refused to come out. Eventually, officers made contact, and then after several hours, the man walked out, was hit with a rubber bullet. Turns out he was not armed, but was wearing what police say was a workout vest. On Detroit's west side, police are searching for a suspect tonight in a deadly shooting. Now, this happened back on June 16th at a gas station off of 8 Mile near Myers Road. Video shows the shooter drive by in a dark old Chevy Impala and fire gunshots into a car sitting at a pump. 3 men were inside the targeted vehicle. A 22-year-old was hit. He later died at the hospital. Anyone with information is asked to contact Crime Stoppers at 1-800-SPEAK-UP.
Matty Maroon, the controversial Detroit businessman and owner of the Ambassador Bridge, has died. Maroon also once owned the old Michigan Central Station in Corktown, though he sold that to Ford 2 years ago. Very private man, gave few interviews, stayed out of the public spotlight. Recently spent millions fighting to try to stop construction of the Gordie Howe International Bridge. Forbes estimated his family's worth at $1.7 billion. Family members say Maroon passed away peacefully at home of congestive heart failure at the age of 93.
A rookie police officer helped save a young life over in Sterling Heights.
3-week-old girl was choking when the first-year officer first arrived at the scene.
Hey, what's going on with the baby? Okay, let me see. Okay, calm down. Let me see the baby.
The infant was drinking milk from her bottle last week when she choked and lost consciousness. The family called 911 for help, and once the officer realized what was happening, jumped into action, flipping the baby over on her stomach, and moments later, she was breathing again. You can see how frantic, and understandably so, the family was. Her family was watching this whole thing play out on the front lawn.
When a baby isn't breathing, that's stressful enough. But then to arrive on scene and have the entire family come running towards your patrol car, I'm sure our officer knew immediately this was not good. And he acted so calmly, so professionally. He's reassuring the family as he's providing medical attention to the infant. This officer performed well as an understatement and saved a life. There is absolutely no doubt he saved a life.
Big tip of the cap, exactly right for that officer. And tonight, very happy to report that the baby is home and doing just fine.
Incredible. Well, still ahead, a huge night for Ford.
Sure was, Karen. 24 years after it was discontinued, the automaker reveals the all-new Ford Bronco. We'll take a look at the highly anticipated premiere coming up.